Raptors and Nets are tied with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, 47.
And that
47.
surprises me.
Oh yeah, when they said that game's on it, I was like, we ain't gonna have nothing to talk about on that. So let's
You thought it was gonna be a blowout.
let's go through some of these first round games, first round matchups, what we've had so far. 2 number 1 seeds have been beaten. 2 number 1 seeds are down 0-1.
And
Now everybody that's walked in this building the last 2 weeks has picked Portland to beat the Lakers. So I'm gonna say no surprise from you guys on that one.
No.
Charles Barkley said last night if Portland wins game 1, they will
sweep. That's oof.
So let's start there. With
I don't know if I would go that far.
Backwards.
There's no home field advantage.
That's the key.
No.
That is huge.
You're playing.
You got to get yourself up.
Up.
You got to get yourself up. Like when you're down,
have you been paying attention to the music, any?
Yeah.
Offense, defense.
Not really.
You know what I'm talking about, Zach? So in NBA
sometimes
basketball
there's
game, they play music during the game.
Yeah.
Like it's the only sports they just the DJs over here having a good time. So when you're at home, you get happy, upbeat music on offense, and then when you're on defense, it's defense, stuff like that. So, and they miss a shot, it's bow bow, or somebody like if LeBron's in town, he makes a shot, 2-pointer by LeBron James. Devontae Graham hits a shot. Devontae Graham's the greatest comeback player of all time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
they hype it up for the home team.
I just wonder because I did see the Nuggets. I did see the Nuggets logo on the court yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I think those are just graphics, though.
That's TV graphics.
I don't know if it's a TV graphic or if it's like, you know how sometimes they might have the light and it's shining down.
They probably put slides in a light.
Either way,
you know what I'm saying?
Either way, my question was: are they treating them like home teams in the music too? Because what reason are you calling a team the home team in this environment if there is no advantage? And the only advantage I can come up with is the fan/music thing.
What
there is any
weird is like when we're watching just on television, of course we hear the fake crowd noise, but the players don't hear the fake crowd noise. But I did see a highlight from Damian Lillard last night after he drains that huge three and he's running back down on defense and he start dancing because they were actually playing music behind him. And he came and they asked him what that little dance was at the end and he said they played, I think he was like, they played some sort of East Side jam or something that he knew. And he said, and I had to do it to him. That's what he said.
He's his own rapper. Why don't they play his music?
I know. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Like for their home games, just play Dollar Dame.
Right.
But I don't know. That's a good question because they would have to have something. There's no way they just let them play in silence and where they're just like, get away, Dame.
I'm interested in the specifics on that.
He hit a bomb on him last night, that's for sure.
Good God. He was like one step over half court, and he
Ridiculous.
made it.
So there was all kinds of hyperbole going across the Twitter and stuff about Lillard. And so Kenny Smith said he's the greatest long-distance shooter ever.
I saw that.
And then Steph Curry responded like, what?
Yeah,
I'm still here.
And Curry shoots 47% beyond 30 feet.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah,
47% past 30 feet. That's stupid. Dame's at 31%.
Yeah.
They played last year, the Warriors without Durant, and they swept them in the Western Conference Finals. So, listen,
it's what have you done for me now, and that's what he saw, and that's what he
Nobody's
said.
mentioned Kevin Durant's name in months, have they?
Because we haven't seen him in months.
Last year, nobody mentioned LeBron for months.
We didn't see him for months.
When you hadn't seen him, what have you done for me? You're right, Zach. So last night, Gastonia's Hassan Whiteside
blocked the king.
Got 5 blocks last night. And
he's doing what they need him to do.
Well, he also had 5 fouls. He had 3 fouls in the first 10 minutes of him playing.
He's doing what
Is that
they
not what I
need
said
him
the other
to do.
day?
Just
Every
throw
time
him a
LeBron
body.
throws, goes to the lane, try to block a shot with Whiteside.
Yeah.
If you foul him, you foul him. If you foul him, he goes to the line and shoots 67%. But you can't just let people go to the lane and do layup drills. And then again, if Anthony Davis and LeBron are your best 2 players, who are you going to get points from? Where are you going to get scoring from?
I don't know.
And if they, let's say,
that was on display last night.
Let's say if they both, and they don't have 3-point shooters, what I mean is LeBron and Anthony Davis going to 2-point you to be able to beat you 3-pointer?
Yeah, maybe.
What you going to do? You going to go watch a movie with Austin and them, or you going to stay in here? All right, you go watch the movie. I'll tell him you're coming. Kids here today.
Yeah. The kids are here today. He did get a fist bump, so the coronavirus is.
Well, hey, there you go. There you go. But I will say this. We're looking at the Lakers game.
I hope they get swept.
Listen to this.
And I don't like Portland.
We talked about plus minus, I think, Monday, and how it's kind of a second-tier analytical type statistic, plus minus. And I'm looking here at the starters.
I think it's a very important
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like.
And I'm looking at this here for the starters for the Lakers. Anthony Davis, minus 20. LeBron, minus 3. JaVale McGee, minus 9. Danny Green, minus 20. And Caldwell Pope, minus 18.
And when you're not, they weren't scoring. So when you're not scoring, you're going to have you're going to be in the plus minus. You're definitely going to be in the minus.
The only person so they were all in the minus.
Mm-hmm.
That was all the starters for the Lakers. The only player in the minus for the Trailblazers was Carmelo Anthony. It was minus 2. That was it. That was it.
Well, I personally hope the Lakers get swept because I love what that'll do for LeBron's legacy.
How are you going to have 2 of your 5 starters combined for 7 points?
Do I kind of feel bad for what's happening with the Lakers a little bit because they're really not fielding their team that they have, but I hope they get swept.
I don't feel sorry for them.
I'll never feel bad for the Lakers. I don't care if LeBron was on that team or if it was still Kobe's team. I will not feel sorry for the Lakers.
No, not the
because
Lakers.
What is it? They've got like 13 championships or something like that.
LeBron.
I don't care.
LeBron tries to get the best. He's not happy in a series. And this is what was weird to me. Like, he's not happy in a series or he doesn't win the series unless 1 through 5 his teammates can beat the other guys. Like, it's never LeBron and a bunch of scrubs and we're going to outplay you. It's I've got Anthony Davis. I got Kevin Love and Kyrie. I've got Chris Bosh and I've got Dwayne Wade. I've always got these other guys that when you add it up, we can beat them 3-2 on the floor. And then now it's right now it's 2-3. Like it's just him and Anthony Davis, and there is no 3-point shooting. He had 22, 17, and 15 last night for LeBron.
First time anybody's ever recorded that stat line.
Because I did this yesterday or Monday.
But who needs him getting 16 assists to Caruso?
Yeah,
Caruso's 0 for whatever from 3-point line. How many passes did LeBron throw to Caruso hoping to get an assist that he didn't get one? So again, back to Jordan and Kobe. Listen, you can get your assist, you can pass them all you want, but if you're not getting yours, your team's going to lose.
And they were up 6.
He can't score 2,200 and then win.
They were up 6. They were up 6 late. If you're the best player in the league, you take the game over.
This is what's so bad.
He's running the point. He could have walked it up.
Take
the game over.
Shannon Sharp made a good point this morning. He said, for Anthony Davis to get 28, it took 24 shots. And for LeBron James to get 23, it took 20 shots. That's not efficient. That's just not efficient. Usually, it would only take LeBron maybe 10 to 15 shots to get 20, and then he'll go to the line. Both of them, I want to think about this. LeBron missed 3 free throws. Anthony Davis missed 5 free throws. They're free for a reason.
7.
They lost by 7.
How many does that add up to? LeBron and
8.
8.
8. Okay, well, close enough. Anyways.
No wonder you didn't pass your Amazon.
No, me and math. I just try and go as fast as I can. But this is the easiest math I can tell you. You made a very good point a second ago, Kevin, when you said this. LeBron, numbers-wise, for the past few years, has always tried to have at least one guy up on somebody. Cleveland, he had, as much as people can kind of say maybe he wasn't really a star, but Kevin Love, he had Kevin Love, and he had Kyrie. Kevin Love, I know, was hurt for a few of those series and whatnot, can never really be healthy, and Kyrie's always had his injuries, but whatever. So there we go. There's 3 of them, right? And then when he was in Miami, there's 3 of them. There's him, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. So then you could look at them and say, pick your poison. Even then, you could technically almost say it was 4 because Ray Allen was still one of the best spot-up 3-point shooters at the time after just leaving Miami. But now, because I literally laid this out Monday, this is from Monday. So the Lakers, if we just go based off of the starting 5 that Portland and Los Angeles are putting out on the court, the numbers game is in favor of Portland. Who's got the better point guard? Portland's not even close. Damian Lillard. Who's got the better shooting guard? Portland. C.J. McCollum. Who's got the better small forward? LeBron. I'll concede LeBron. Who's got the better power forward? It's Anthony Davis. Who's got the better center? Nurkic. And I'm just talking straight starters.
And they could bring in Whiteside off the bench.
Yeah, but
Whiteside get the exact same thing JaVale McGee.
But I'm just talking about starters, and let's see how close I got. So I said, we'll give LeBron and Anthony Davis 30 because they can both get 30 easily. With that starting 5, they can get 30 easily. So that would just be 60. Damian Lillard can get you 30 easily. Well, Damian Lillard last night had 34, so I was correct on that. I said C.J. McCollum can get you 20. He had 21. I was correct on that. So right now, we're already, just based off of the numbers I put, we're hitting. So we're at 50 right now. And then I said Nurkic would get you 15.
Mm-hmm.
He had 16 points. I literally hit everything I talked about Monday just now. And even if LeBron and Anthony Davis did go out there and score 30 points, they still lose because they would lose 65-60.
Your 3 main guys in the playoffs. Write down the number, Hunter. 75.
Yeah, they need to score 75.
They need that many points.
Mm-hmm.
And and if I probably added this up more, it'd probably be closer to 70.
And the reason that is because the teams are top heavy.
Right.
I mean, it filtered back in the day too, but the teams are so top heavy now that you only got 3 scores.
Well, you go into a game.
That's crazy that I literally hit each of these
almost
except for LeBron James.
Well, just almost every game's like you go into a game thinking that you need 75 from 3 guys. So just thinking in playoffs, Jordan would get 35. Pippen would get 20. 25. So that's 55.
And you got
so
Kukoc going to come in. He's going to get 12 to 15.
You need 15 to 20 from Kukoc or Horace Grant.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, those 75 from the 3 guys. And then after that, you can finish off. What's weird, me and Hunter talked about the other day, kind of that game last night, that's a 90s playoff game.
Yeah.
100 to 93.
Yeah.
Like 100 used to be the goal. Like, so when you see a game like,
because we play defense.
right, you see a game that was 130 to 125.
You're like, what the crap?
How important are layups or dunks and free throws or any shots?
That would have been a Phoenix Suns later.
Yeah.
The later Phoenix when they had Stoudemire and those guys. That was when they was starting to score more.
See, this is what's so crazy.
Last
so
night
like
the Lakers had 65 from their top 3.
Yeah. But out of their top 2, like just based off of, so we said who has the advantage out of starting 5s.
Oh, yeah.
Their top 2 only put up 51. Whereas the 3 over here for Portland, I mean, I practically hit it. So I'm just going to keep with these numbers. That's still 65. Regardless, they smoked them.
And you throw in there's no home field advantage, home team advantage. There's not.
Lakers starters only got 68 points.
Yeah, because they had one of them that had 1 point.
That is absolutely
Caldwell
horrible.
Pope, 1 point. JaVale McGee, 7. 6.
Yeah.
Add those together, it's only 7 points. Yeah. Everybody had double digits for Portland except for one player, and it's just whoever that Gabriel guy is. But he only played 16 minutes.
Right.
The rest of the starters played. Whiteside played more than him, and Gary Trent Jr.
Yeah. And keeping with past history with Danny Green, he might come out and hit you for 30. The next game, he might hit
Streaky.
7 3-pointers in a row.
Streaky.
He ain't done it.
He's streaky.
They were 5 of 32 last night from 3. Danny had 2. He was 2 of 8. So no matter who you want to blame, I mean, you can blame him for missing 6, but he made 2.
I mean, look, I'm looking at this, and I'm
Davis
saying
missed all 5.
I'm saying
0 for 5.
Lakers, you should have just started Kyle Kuzma. He had 14 off the bench. What did Caldwell Pope get you?
LeBron, Pope, and Anthony Davis in the starting lineup went 1 of 15 from 3. And then Kuzma went 1 of 5. So 2 of 20.
Avery Bradley's not there. He's their 3-point shooter.
2 of
and
20.
a defensive player, too.
Mm-hmm.
2 of 20.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know if Portland.
I hope they get put out.
I don't know if. I don't know.
Not the Nets.
You talking about the
Bucks.
Bucks. That'd be funny. I don't know if Portland can win this series against the Lakers, but this might go 7.
Portland didn't have a great record overall. For
35 and 39.
Yeah, they had a better
14
lineup
and
than
24 away.
Well, these two teams are the opposite from the regular season. The Lakers were full boat regular season for the most part, and then now we got 2 players out, and the Portland spent their whole season with injury problems.
No Nurkic.
Rodney Hood isn't even here.
No, he's not playing.
Yeah.
So
and that's a huge.
He would be
bench.
taking Gabriel's spot maybe.
Oh, he'd be starting.
Or
yeah, definitely.
I know what it was. Rodney Hood got injured. That's why they signed Carmelo, because Hood is a small forward. They needed scoring from the wing position.
So they play in 3 real small. They're playing a 3-guard lineup. 2 forwards.
I mean, right here it says they got Lillard and McCollum point guard, shooting guard, but they got Anthony and Gabriel listed at power forwards. Are you kidding
Anthony
me?
ain't never been a power forward.
Carmelo Anthony always been a small forward. He like 6'8" and a hot dog.
I mean, and you know what? Hey, if he could get hot in the game and pitch you for 30.
I mean, he scored 11. He was 3 for 11, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line.
If Olympic Melo shows up, they all better go home.
So, are you feeling any one of you that the Magic are going to upset the Bucks?
No, I don't.
I hope they do. I
don't feel as confident in that game as I do with possibly the Trailblazers beating the Lakers.
Heat beat the Pacers by 12. Rockets beat the Thunder 123-108.
No Westbrook.
The only team that I care about got beat last night. Dallas.
They didn't play last night.
They played the night before.
Not for you. Sorry.
But they gave the Clippers everything they wanted.
I think
they got a bad draw.
I think that's just a draw for Dallas.
They
I
did.
think
I think it was also a
and
weak
they got their,
ass call.
And they got their second best player through the game.
Say weak call to throw out Kristaps. Weak call.
If they play the Thunder or the Rockets or the Jazz, are we picking Dallas to win?
Yes.
Thunder, Rockets, or Jazz? Thunder. Yeah.
Over the
absolutely.
Jazz, over the Thunder. I don't know about the Rockets, but that's if they have
It's
Westbrook.
at least going to be a good series.
Yes.
With the Rockets.
But see, I think this one's going to be a good series regardless. It was only an 8-point game.
I just don't know if Dallas.
I don't know.
I think they're in the same situation LA is, where they only got 2 main scorers.
Oh, you're talking about how the Lakers are right now?
I think Dallas and,
that's
and
just
the Lakers
Kristaps and
are in the same positions with their lineups. And
Luka.
if they played each other, I think it would be an outstanding series watching them play each other. Think about
because they're gonna
Anthony Davis,
they're
Luka
going
versus LeBron.
They're going to cancel each other out, and then whoever the best role players is going to win the game. Because the stars are going to cancel each other out. Luka's going to be a triple double.
I was about to say, they won't necessarily just cancel each other out, but you won't stop them. You know what you'll get from each of them. The biggest X factor though between like if Dallas was to play the Lakers, it's the same thing that Charles said would be the reason that the Lakers would win. Is Anthony Davis going to show up? You know, last night in the fourth quarter, he had 2 points.
And you remember
he
what
had
Skip
2
said?
points.
On Monday, I reminded Hunter that he only averaged 3 points in the regular season in the fourth.
Skip said when they got Anthony Davis and when they got LeBron, neither one of them's an alpha. They both shrink when the spotlight's on. They have nobody to take over the game.
I said that Monday because now Anthony Davis has been in the playoffs before. Just now he's with a different team, and he actually has another superstar with him. But Drew Holiday was never bad with him in New Orleans, and he's only ever made it out of the first round 1 time. He's been in the league, 7-8 years now? Mm-hmm. Before that, he was just getting swept. And he can be dominant. I mean, he scored 28 last night, still on an absolutely horrid night shooting. But you're going into crunch time and you only get me 2 points. How many times can we sit here and say Michael or Kobe only had 2 points in the fourth, or even LeBron had 2 points in a fourth quarter?
I don't know about that.
Probably never, unless they were just injured and had to come out. But even then, Kobe would have shot on a torn Achilles. That's what he did.
I think LeBron stunk it up in the Denver series. I mean, the Dallas series years ago. So
yeah, but I don't know if he only had 2 points in a fourth quarter.
Yeah,
he might have had 4.
He got smoked by Dirk.
He might have had 4, but I don't know if it was just necessarily 2. So to me, the most intriguing series out of everybody that's in the first round is Portland and the Lakers, because that's the only opportunity I see where the 8 seed could upset the 1 seed. I think Orlando just got lucky, and I really don't want to just use the L word and say that they were lucky, but I think they just were, because Chris Middleton did not show up. Did you know that they paid Chris Middleton a max contract?
Yeah.
Idiots.
So I'm going to see what you think about this comparison as far as Giannis goes. So regular season.
Giannis is Orlando Shaq?
No, this is a different sport.
Okay, different sport.
He's Cam. So what I mean by that, if you're playing him in the regular season, are all 16 of your games designed to stop a running quarterback whose main play is to throw a swing pass to the running back? How many defenses are every week see something like that? They don't. So when you play Cam in the regular season, or you play one of these running quarterbacks in the regular season, say Lamar Jackson, you can get beat.
Mm-hmm.
You can get caught. Put it that way. Then you get in the playoffs. Well, all of a sudden, All the defenses are good. All the teams are good. All the teams are trying hard. They're designing defenses around Giannis. I'm not saying they're going to shut him down.
But he still had 30 in a loss.
What I'm saying, the preparation that you have against a physical specimen, like Hunter, if you're getting paid $10 million against a physical specimen in the regular season, you're not going to risk your life, limb, and body for that. But if it's playoff time, he's getting fouled.
Well,
So
I'll
it's a little
say
bit
this
it's
too.
It's just a little bit different.
Do you know what he reminds me of? It's another comparison, another football comparison. The Bucks right now remind me of New England and Tom Brady last year. You know what Tom Brady's going to give you. What's everybody else going to give you?
Yeah.
What does his surrounding cast look like? And because think about it, the only difference between the Bucks and the Patriots of last year is the Bucks they've solidified their 1 seed. Patriots messed around, lost maybe one too many games last year. Didn't quite have the 1 seed. Didn't even have a top 2 seed, so they had to play again in the first round. But to me, it's one of those things where going into that game against Tennessee, we were like, okay, we know what Tom Brady's going to do. Is he going to have help? Are the wide receivers going to show up? Are the running backs going to show up for him? We know that defense is good, but are they going to be able to score points? And now here we are with Milwaukee. I know what Giannis is going to do because, like I said, last night in that loss, he had 31 in 34 minutes. Well, he almost was scoring a point a minute, and he was 3 from 7 from the 3-point line.
Here's the takeaway I take from it. It's those little statistics.
Yes.
You could look at their free throw percentage.
Oof.
94.7 for the Magic. Now that is over your head. 64% for Milwaukee.
I'll tell you what, Giannis reminds me, and everybody, my best friend hates it when I say it. He reminds me of a young LeBron. He's not great at shooting a 3 right now. He's dominant when he gets in the paint. He can't shoot free throws.
Do you know who missed the most free throws? It was Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what he needs to do is definitely make sure he can hit free throws because with his play style, he's always getting hacked.
And his stat line was off the chart.
Oh yeah,
17 rebounds, 7 assists. What was it? 35 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 31 in 34 minutes. So literally almost a point a minute.
So his stat line was off the chart, but free throws matter. Kids, if you're listening to me, learn how to shoot a free throw. It might win you an NBA championship.
I'm just saying.
It's sad that you got these players that are this talented that cannot hit a free throw.
This is another one that didn't show up for me, and it doesn't make any sense. Brook Lopez.
He was horrible.
He was horrible. How are you going to go 0 for 4 from the 3-point line when I've seen you all during the regular season be absolutely money from the 3-point line? I don't understand. Did the light shine brightest and he didn't know what was happening? That's just crazy to me. And it's my buddy, my best friend literally he's an Orlando Magic fan. So I know he was just all up in arms and so happy about this. But I hate to tell him, Vucevic going for 35, and I don't think it happens again.
No.
But I'll tell you what, Giannis probably goes for 30 again. Chris Middleton might actually show up.
He'll up his.
And Brook Lopez will not just be minus 11 on the night and only score 5 points.
They got 15 out of Mark Fultz. I can't think it was Markel
Fultz. He's gotten better, but I still can't get over the kid with the 76ers when he was there literally saying he forgot how to shoot. Light was just too big for him. The Bucks 56-17 on the season. This is there. I do not see them losing another game in this series. I could see them a gentleman's sweep. Well, they did the same exact thing. Or no, I'm sorry. The Magic did the same exact thing last year to Toronto. They won the first game against Toronto, and guess what? They got reverse swept. Gentleman's sweep. So, could it happen for the Bucks? Yeah, sure. There are tons of opportunities. Like I said, we're getting 5 games already, unless the Magic just go on some sort of historic magical, play on words, a magical run and sweep the Bucks. But I don't see that happening. So, to me, I don't understand because that's one of the best defensive teams in basketball, the Bucks. And you so far in the bubble, you went 3-5 So you had a losing record throughout the 8 games in the bubble, and then you lose the first game that actually matters for you, which is the first round of the playoffs.
You know, you're talking about what they did in the bubble, and I kind of hated it for Phoenix, as good as they were playing, that they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They were lights out.
I think there should have been a concession somewhere that says if you go undefeated in the bubble, you are automatically, especially in the West, because I think they were setting it up for a play-in game anyways, you were the one to get in the play-in game, because as much as Memphis and Portland was entertaining, I think Phoenix and Portland would have been just as entertaining.
Yeah.
Because it is unfortunate. They literally they did what they needed to do, which was go flawless, and they didn't even have an opportunity.
Interesting thing that's going to come up is when's Booker a free agent?
I don't think it's far off, truthfully,
because he is a stud and he's going somewhere.
Oh yeah, unless they absolutely throw the book at him. His contract right now keeps Booker in a Suns uniform through 2023-2024 season. So give it that's 3 years, right? Yeah, because it'll be like start of the 23 season, it rolls over into 2024. So give him 3 years, 3.5 years, his contract will be up. But now look at it this way. The Suns just went 8-0. Do they just build off of this and then all of a sudden are a playoff contention team for the years to come?
They can be, and they'd had to go back to their prominence when they they had the Stoudemire days, and they had Nash, and they had before that they had the Barkley and those guys. I mean, it ain't like it's a no man's land.
No, it's not no man's land. It's definitely doable. And they already have a very good young core. Kelly Oubre was injured during this whole thing, but he's a good young small forward. He's kind of flamboyant, but I don't really care about that. Rodman was too and was a beast. So Kelly Oubre is very good.
DeAndre Ayton, I think.
DeAndre Ayton is very good. Okay, he's young. He'll be able to just continue to evolve his game a little bit. I think basketball maybe one day should go back to where the center is dominant, or at least plays a larger part in the game than just standing out at the three-point line and maybe just getting a rebound to kick it back out to a three-point shooter. But Devin Booker being with the Suns, if they just piggyback off of what they just did in the bubble, next year there'll be a problem. But I don't know. Maybe. That's just a big maybe, because they're going to have to throw a lot of money at him, because big market teams are going to throw a lot of money at him for him to come out here and say, hey, there's an opportunity for you to win a championship somewhere else than just being in Phoenix. And there's another player that's going to fall into that trap too, Milwaukee, with Giannis.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, after this year, Giannis' contract is up.
Oh, yeah, because that's what the Warriors are banking on. They're going to get Giannis.
Somebody's banking on trying to make a move for Giannis.
You can win anywhere in the NBA.
If the Magic put the Bucks out, he's gone.
Because we was talking about Booker.
You need 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, why would you go to a place if you were still going to be the number one person if you didn't know that there's going to be 2 other stars?
I'll tell you exactly a place where he could thrive, and it's not big market. I mean, he could thrive in Indiana. He could thrive in Miami. Well, Miami's big market, but I'm just saying in Indiana, because you would have Oladipo as one of the extra guys that could be a part of that, and T.J. Warren shows up every now and then. They got great center in Miles Turner. The problem is it's like what I was saying. Chris Middleton is your max player, but to me, he's not even worth it. Like, how can he be your 2 and you expect to win at all?
I wouldn't pay him because he's that ugly. But
God, he really is. Holy cow. You're not even joking.
I'm sorry. He's on the all-time ugly list.
Jeez, he is, man. It is not even close.
He's on there with Willie McGee from St. Louis. How about Willie just I'll say it in baseball, just for when I say the Cardinals in just a few minutes.
We was talking about the line for the Magic and the Bucks, and the biggest thing that shot out to me was 94% free throw percentage for the Magic and 64 for the Bucks.
They shoot as bad as LeBron does from the line. Moving over to my picks for the championship was Toronto and Denver. Denver wins in overtime by 10. Off the bench, Zach, 11 minutes. Plumlee, 2 points. Dozier, 20 minutes, 3 points. It's time to unleash the secret weapon. It's time to let Bobo out of the gates. Because those two ain't doing shit.
And you know,
I mean, why? Why? Let's play Dozier and Plumlee 31 points so they get 31 minutes, they get 5 points. You don't think he's getting 5 in 31 minutes?
And then, you know, they got and it goes back, and I hate to even bring up how horrible the Hornets are in drafting.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name right now for Denver. The guy that had the back injury coming
Michael
out.
Porter Jr.
Yes, thank you.
They could have drafted him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Why would you not just wait? We suck anyway. Why would you just wait? What's it going to matter to let somebody suck playing? Or we got Miles Bridges that year. Why would you not just take Michael Porter Jr.?
Here's my message.
He was a 1.
Here's my message for anyone in charge of drafting for the Charlotte Hornets. Who have a one-on-one tournament, and whoever wins, pick that guy.
Yeah, because he can get his own shot.
Right. 100% right. No more. He's got potential to be a good point guard. He's got potential. I don't want to see another big man with potential ever drafted in the first round by the Charlotte Hornets.
I do not want another Noah Vonleh.
Nobody at 6'8" and above who can't shoot at all should ever be drafted by the Hornets ever again. They've got plenty of prospects.
And you know,
but for the love of God, have them play 1-on-1, rank them in the order of who won. That's it. That's
Listen, Michael. Listen, Michael, draft the one that looks at you and says, "I'll take you on," because you might have a gamer on your hands.
Now I just looked up to see where we might land in the draft and what's up. They got us projected at 4th now, and they're saying that we might be able to get the guy that didn't get to play for Memphis this year, the center. And I'm going, please no.
How are y'all sitting at 4th?
What they're projecting for the draft
5 to 11 just depends on how
I was about to say
the lottery works.
If anything, the one person that I've been preaching the Hornets should try and get, and they need to do a draft day move because I don't see him falling outside of 6, is Obi Toppin out of Dayton.
And
he is a small forward / power forward that can put the ball on the ground and create his own shot. The only knock that is going to be on him is people will say he might be a little old because he stayed a year or 2 in college. I don't care. I don't care.
At this point, everybody in the NBA.
Damian Lillard played, I think, all his years at Weber State.
Everybody in the NBA's got a decent point guard, and they got people that can rebound. So all your draft picks, just like I say a lot of times, all draft picks should be defensive players and linemen. You can sign other people to different positions. With basketball, like as far as the Hornets go, all your draft picks should be scorers. Every one of them. And then you can figure out the rest. You can pay. They've already got 12 people that can't score on their team. You can find those guys.
You can find bodies that throw fouls.
And you can pay them $20 million a year like we do.
You can pay Mozgov 15 if you want. But my point is, if you don't have scores at the shooting guard or small forward position, you're not going to win the NBA or most basketball.
And then Kevin said a minute ago, bring Bobo in to take up for their slack. And I had Miami and the Lakers in my finals, and I didn't think that the Lakers were going to have the problem that they had at the beginning yesterday.
Yeah,
and nor did I think Jimmy Butler was going to go off the deep end with the vendetta against somebody on another team. It really don't matter.
Well, see, if this was 10 years ago, LeBron, I don't think Portland would have as much of a chance because. And
LeBron himself can win you 3 games.
LeBron, I'm not even talking about that. LeBron isn't explosive as he was.
Oh, no.
So Whitesides is the perfect center to be back. Him or Gobert, if they're back there, and LeBron's doing all that BS, I'm dropping my shoulders trying to do a layup off the glass, they're just going to beat that shot off the board. And they did. He blocked 5. He had 5 blocks. And once you get a shot blocker on LeBron, I don't think he's going to be as effective. 22 points. He knows going into that game, he can't score 22 points and win. You just,
not with that surrounding cast, no.
They lost by 7. So if he gets, I was going to say he's got to have at least 30. So if they get 30, he wins. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just that simple. You can't score.
Anthony Davis had 28. I said both of them needed to score 30.
To me,
I gave them 30, and they didn't. Neither one of them hit it.
To me, LeBron chases these random stats. Mm-hmm. That make
16 assists.
That make you sound.
No, what was it? 15 assists and like 17 boards.
Or like Zach said, nobody's ever done that. Well, okay.
They lost.
Yeah.
I think
Jordan scored 63 in a playoff game.
He lost.
They lost.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell just scored 57 in the playoff
57
game.
and lost.
He lost.
And he was nasty, too.
I think that's the one that they said that Bird said that Jordan was God in a
Yeah.
uniform. And they lost.
They lost.
Right. I think it's a bad matchup for the Lakers. All right, so Nuggets win by 10.
Yeah.
They play today at 4 o'clock.
I keep telling Hunter they don't even need to unleash Bol unless they're down, but I just want to see him damn play.
Look,
He's got way more talent than Morris. Grant's okay, but he made some horrible plays, didn't he?
Yeah. Hold your horses.
Did you watch the first game, Zach, the other day?
No, I did not.
Grant on back-to-back plays.
Oh, he airballed like a finger roll.
He airballed a finger roll. The other team gets the ball, of course. They start trying to run a fast break. Well, somebody for Denver picks it off and comes back the other way. They pass it over to Grant. Then he airball a three.
Oh, no, they had passed it over to Grant.
Oh, he threw a terrible
a lob, and it was behind Michael Porter Jr.
That's what it was.
Like, you think it was going to hit a light up there. He just went.
So basically, Zach, he airballed a finger roll, and then 12 seconds later, he threw one of the worst alley-oops I've ever seen in my life.
Jeez.
But he ended up with 19 points, so he had a good game. But he had a bad few moments there early on. Jokic of 29, Murray 36, Porter with only 13. How about Millsap has been a no-show for most of the
I think he was a no-show for most of the
season.
8 games of the bubble.
Yeah,
I guess he is just veteran leadership. That's what they have. The X factor on that team is the guy that's not getting no respect, and it's Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray might be the best player on that team.
He's he had 36, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And Mitchell had 57.
Mm-hmm. But 1-1.
Right.
It's the same aspect that Colin was just talking about the other day. He said, so Russell Westbrook is going to go out here and be all sorts of flashy when he was with the Thunder, but he wouldn't win when KD left. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Damian Lillard is still flashy, but he's winning. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't really have he's never really had a second star, really. You could say L.A. whenever Aldridge was there, but Aldridge is falling off a cliff now wherever he's at. So it's just the Dame show.
So let's move over to other big news. Now,
I think this is really big news.
This series seems like it's going 7. Hunter, we're getting down to skeleton crews. It seems like Celtics versus
said
76ers.
Whether it was corona or injuries, depth was going to be the key.
And Zach just got up right when I was about to ask my question. So
well, you can ask me the question.
I don't know if I should though. I want him to respond to it. So I'll do this. So Gordon Hayward is hurt. He's out 4 weeks.
I think that's actually really big.
Their starting lineup now is going to be whoever Theus is at center. He had 9 points. Enes Kanter played 8 minutes, had 0 points. Here's their bench, Hunter. G. Williams. You know who that is? Mm. R. Williams.
Is that Gary Williams?
R. Williams III. Didn't he play wide receiver for the Cowboys?
Sure they aren't talking about RG3.
Wanamaker.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Smart's probably
I thought
on there.
Wanamaker was a Goff award. It's the Wanamaker Cup.
I thought that was a dog.
Let's see. I'll get to it. Let's see. So Williams. Do you know who G. Williams is for the Celtics?
No.
You know who R. Williams III is? You know who Brent Wanamaker is? I just named you 3 of the people off the bench.
Let me get on the roster.
Yeah, I just named you 3 people off their bench.
That's
Marcus
horrible.
Smart, Hunter, last night, in 32 minutes, or 2 nights ago, got 2 points. In 32 minutes, he had 2 points. Now Hayward only had 12, but that's 10 more than Smart. So my question is, Zach, with no Ben Simmons now in Philly, no Gordon Hayward in Boston, it's now Walker, Brown, and Tatum, and a bunch of people that ain't no good, the small guys versus the big guys. Tobias Harris, Embiid, and Al Horford. Will this series go 7? But my main question is, Hunter, I never missed a chance to do this. Does this mean Kemba still is not going to win a playoff series?
No.
Huh?
No, I think the Celtics
Huh?
still win this playoff series.
Now, you did a lot of math earlier. I let you keep going and going and going. Yeah, I set you up for this one.
It was good math.
I knew it was, and I set you up for this one, though. Kemba Walker,
It's the better point guard.
Tatum, and Jaylen Brown last night. They combined for 79 points.
Mm-hmm.
Now, said the top three need 75. They did their job.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else, though.
You want to talk about everybody else? Hayward's 12. He got 12. He's out for the season, or 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Theus got 9. There's
Might
your
be
starters.
the season.
There's your starters. 21 points from your other starters. So that gives you exactly 100. Let me read your bench. Or 101, actually. Let me read your bench. Zach Williams, 2 minutes, 0 points. Cantor, 8 Williams, 0 points. Williams, 13 minutes, 2 points. Wanamaker, 10 minutes, 4 points. Marcus Smart, 32 minutes, 2 points. So Smart's already playing 32 minutes. So he's going to stay those minutes at 32, 34.
He's got to make up for Hayward.
Right. Hayward played 34. That means those minutes have to go to other people. Who in the hell are they giving 34 extra minutes? This ain't like 12 minutes or 10 minutes or even 20. This is 34 minutes of Gordon Hayward on the court. So that means G. Williams, R. Williams, Wanamaker, the three that added up last night, and we'll throw Cantor in there too. 4 of them added together had 6 points. And they're supposed to replace minutes and scoring from Gordon Hayward. So that was why my question was, can the Celtics 3 guards basically outscore the Sixers 3 big men? And then after that, it's bench. So once you get past Embiid, Harris, and Horford, it's Josh Richardson, Milton, Scott, Alex Burks, Thibault. There's a bunch of people we've never heard of.
I will say this. If I know we have to take away the points from Gordon Hayward, but if you just go the big 3, we're talking big men from the 76ers against the small 3, the guards that are really scoring from the Celtics still win that battle. You had Tatum with 32, Jaylen Brown with 29.
He's always
Kemba Walker with 19, and then we look over here. Al Horford is the one that's really holding this down. He had 6.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris had 15, and Joel Embiid had 26.
I think Horford's getting long in the tooth now, and it's starting to show. Jaylen Brown always plays way better in the playoffs. So
I like Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown somewhere else is a star. Same way I think Jason Tatum somewhere else is a star. Not to say that they're both not already stars with the Celtics, but one kind of overshadows the other every other night. And Kemba Walker is still on that team. He's a star. A lot of people consider him maybe a top 3 point guard in the East at least. Maybe even a top 2 point guard, depending on whether or not Kyrie Irving plays. So it's I think the loss of Gordon Hayward is going to hurt them because the Celtics are not so big, and he was kind of some size that they had at the small forward position. But scoring-wise, if you just if it was to just shift and they scored the same amount of points, the top 3 for the Celtics and the top 4 from the 76ers in the next game, the Celtics still have the edge because Al Horford just laid an egg. He said, "You know what? I'm just going to score my measly 6 and mosey my way back over to the bench." He just, I don't know why people have such this love for Al Horford, because even when he was in Atlanta, he was decent. That was Jeff Teague's team or Joe Johnson's team, not Al Horford. And now you're talking about a team that's already 3-point deficient in the 76ers, and now they're just trying to score all in the paint? Nah, to me, I still think the more balanced team is definitely Boston. They're the more balanced team. I think they're the more talented team. And outside of the guys that we're sitting there looking like, oh, I don't know who this guy is, I don't know who this guy is, I don't know who this guy is, at least I know who Enes Kanter and Marcus Smart is. I'm looking at the bench. The only person I know is Alec Burks for 76ers. So I think the Celtics are deeper. I don't think they're in trouble, But I will say this, that 4 weeks without Gordon Hayward's going to hurt whoever they draw in round 2. And I had the Celtics going to the finals because they were so deep. Now, I feel like that's something that's plagued Gordon Hayward, though, over the years. Just a random injury.
It's Toronto in round 2.
Yeah, I don't think they could get through Toronto without Gordon. I don't think they could. And I'm not saying that he is like an X factor for people or anything. I'm just saying, like, he'll make a difference. He'll make a pretty big difference. So with him not playing, I think they play tonight too, don't they? Yeah, the game's tonight. For those of you guys that are wondering, Brooklyn, as a matter of fact, is up right now. 5 minutes to go in the third. They're up by 5, 70-65. Keep your eye on that one because it wouldn't surprise me. Brooklyn has been one of those teams, kind of like how the Suns were in the bubble. No one would have expected them to win, but they're playing hard. So if they sneak one from out underneath Toronto, wouldn't surprise me. But I still think Toronto would win that series. 4 o'clock, Utah and Denver. Denver leads the series 1-0. Philadelphia and Boston is the 6:30 game. 1-0. Boston leads. And 9 o'clock, it's not surprising, it's the Los Angeles team, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Dallas team. Now, me and Kevin had a very good conversation Monday about how they did some of this scheduling. The 1 o'clock in the early games, it seems you would rather show the primetime games, the ones with the big names, later. Those are your primetime segments, right? Mm-hmm. That would be something that you'd want to do. And in this case, it's kind of the truth. Boston and Philadelphia are the 6:30 game. Boston is obviously a bigger draw than Utah and Denver. And the Clippers and Dallas, that's just star power all across the board. They're the 9 o'clock game. So Brooklyn and Toronto being the 1 o'clock game, is that kind of throwing shade at the Toronto fans? Is that still not giving Toronto the respect that they deserve, being last year's champion?
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it is 100%. And another thing, this is what we talked about Monday, it's the fact that Utah and Denver are playing on TNT. Philadelphia, Boston are playing on TNT. Dallas and the Clippers are playing on TNT. Why is Toronto and Brooklyn playing on NBA TV?
It might maybe not be a throwback at Toronto. It might be a throwback on Brooklyn because they're so horrible.
Well, they're winning right now. So it's kind of... But I know what you're saying. They're not as interesting. They're not as interesting. They'd be more...
Because they don't have their,
Yeah, they'd be more interesting if it was Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They'd be on every channel. But, really? You had to put them on a completely different channel than the other 3 games that you're going to have that will be played one after another after another? I feel like that's just blatant disrespectful. But not only just disrespectful to the teams, what about the fan bases that want to watch that? If you have basic cable, you don't have NBA TV.
Yeah.
You can't watch that game. If you just get satellite, you definitely can't watch that game.
It goes a little bit back to the ACC network.
Oh, don't get me started. ACC network, Big Ten network, the Longhorn network just for the University of Texas. Yeah. I know, it's crazy. ESPN Plus just to watch certain things. You got to have their subscription base.
If they're going to do that, it should be they're only getting the advertising off of it, not charging people to watch it.
Mm-hmm. I would think so. But there's too much. But there's too much money in it now. That's they're learning based off of what the other streaming sites are making for their subscription base, like Netflix, Hulu, and all of that. That's what they're basing it off of, and what their metrics are going to come from. But to me, it's like this is a live sport. Well, I don't quite understand why there has to be a paywall for me to watch a live sport,
right?
Especially a playoff game. This is what we've all been wanting. This is what we've all been waiting for. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But that is also happening right now. Still up is Brooklyn with 3:28 in the third, 71-68 over Toronto. Zach, let's me and you move on to something that you're wearing on your hat.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Braves a minute ago.
Let's move on to just baseball in general. Yeah. But because it is me and you sitting here right now, let's definitely talk about the Braves. And let's talk about how it's finally happening. Mm-hmm. They're struggling without Soroka.
Knew it was going to come. Last time I was looking at the standings, they were 13-10. We kind of went on good.
No, they suck.
No, I'm talking about kids.
Yeah, they suck.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know how many times I got to walk around and be like,
What are you doing?
how can I hear y'all with my headphones on talking to other people?
Right.
I should not be able to hear you down the hall. And like there's no reason, and I keep having to go down there. So now, Zach, Austin's reading in his room, Judah's watching TV, and Isabel's in here on the computer. They're in separate rooms.
They've been completely separated.
I'm tired of walking down
Now-
the hall because they can't be quiet.
Now, in retrospect, if we back this up 35 years ago, it's me, Kevin, and Carrie in the radio station, and Kevin's cutting Carrie's hair.
Yeah. And we had other things to do besides. Me and Andre was
can't
talking
throw
about.
stones.
Could you guys have? I guess you were allowed. You're allowed to have phones in class
Excuse me?
or laptops or any of that.
Big old hell to the no. Well, last time I checked, even when I graduated high school in 2014, it was still frowned upon to pull your phone out in class.
I was just wondering because it's just weird all this stuff that.
Well, it's obviously okay now because it's a learning tool that kids use now. We didn't have laptops that we couldn't bring our. You probably could, but when it came down to using it in class, it was kind of a no-no.
Right. Well,
You would have
even
to.
in college,
We would have these carts that had laptops in it that we would have to use the school's laptops if we wanted to use them, or go to the computer lab.
Even in college and any other thing, I never saw a single person pull out a laptop.
Oh, well, now you can't go
or phone
2 feet without someone having a laptop
now,
out
in
of the
computer
college
lab,
campus.
you're using their computers. But I've never seen.
That's why there's Wi-Fi at every place you'll eat at on college campus. There, like any Starbucks or library, all of it's because the laptop comes with them everywhere, and it's sip, type,
They
type.
just come out and just said that Judah can drink whatever else he wants with him to school, and I'm going. Wow.
What?
Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They said he can have a drink with him all day long.
God, they used to scream at us if we walked in with a water bottle.
That's what they told us to bring him: water bottle and a sports bottle thing that you would carry around with you. So
Y'all
Times
said y'all
have
were going to
changed.
baseball, right? Is that what I heard?
yeah, we was talking about
Yeah,
the
we're
Braves
talking
and how
about-
it's catching up with them. That
No Soroka.
last time I checked the standings, we were 13-10.
Wow, the Raptors are still getting beat.
Yeah, they're getting beat right
Yeah,
now. So we
it
just
looks
talked.
like they're going down. I hope they
Maybe
don't.
not. It's still a whole quarter, but it's not looking too promising. I just don't understand.
Couple of quick things, real
Yeah,
quick,
yeah.
Hunter, on the last few things. I'd pull some notes up here on some of this. On Kevin Love career in Minnesota, he played 6 seasons in Minnesota, averaged 19 and 12. In 6 seasons in Cleveland, averaged 17 and 10. So there's some Kevin Love info. Let's see what else I had. I think I had one more other thing on the basketball.
Probably Bobo had a DNP.
That just makes me so mad. So stupid. Can the guy on the bench? How tall is he? 7'3". Can he block shots? Yes. Can he dribble? Yes. Can he
shoot threes?
pass? Yes. Can he shoot threes? Yes. Well, what can he do?
He's
I don't know,
not
he
better
can't-
than Mason Plumlee.
He can't eat a Whopper. Like he's not big enough to get a whole Whopper down. Like, what's his negative, Hunter? Like, what do we look at and be like, no, we don't want to play this dude.
Yeah.
Like, shit. Again, I thought they're deep enough and good enough. If they get Gary Harris back, they're good enough to win and play even without him. But to me, I was telling Hunter, I was like, he's the Robert Horry of these teams, where somebody somewhere in almost every situation comes up and does something big, or you just don't know. Like the Kobe and Shaq thing. And how many times did he need Robert Horry or Derek Fisher to bail him out with shots? Shaq even mentioned that the other night. He thanked Big Shop Rob. And then, of course, Barkley told him, he said, D. Wade and Kobe carried your fat ass. So those were some fun shots listening to them. The Shaq thing, to me, Zach, real quick, before we get to baseball, is the kind of thing with LeBron where the kids today look at him and say, well, he's bigger, stronger, he's better. And no, like, Robinson schooled him for 10 years. And then Elijah won schooled him for 10 years.
Swept him.
Not until he got, now him and Penny beat Jordan and the Bulls that 1 year, but then what happened the next year? Got swept.
Jordan just came back.
He got swept.
Yeah.
So he didn't start winning until what? He got Kobe and D. Wade after Michael had retired. And then LeBron had just started his career. So he had a 5, 6, 7-year window to win championships, and guess what? He did.
Yeah,
Robinson retired, Elijah Warren retired, Jordan Malone, all of those from the 90s retired, and the only person left was Shaq. And he had Kobe on his team.
That Orlando team that got swept by Houston was the best prime team. The way they were built to win, and they just laid an egg, and they laid an egg.
Yeah, got smoked by Elijah Warren.
I mean, they had the shooter and Anderson.
Yep.
So anyway.
All right, baseball. You talk about standings there.